Many people will agree that in this day and age that we're living in today, chums, we're told at every single level, aren't we, what we're supposed to eat, drink, think, read, and we're supposed to believe everything that's put in front of us, And over here in the very heart of London recently, we have a mayor of London who's such a dictatorial sort of person that, if he doesn't like a poster, well then literally, it can't go on there. He's in charge of TfL, and I'm not suggesting for one moment that he cast his eyes over every single poster, but even like this comedy poster recently had to be taken down. The sort of thing. Do you remember the Beach Body Ready poster? Apparently that was very offensive. They couldn't quite work out as to who. And of course that put a lot of people out of business. But consequently, time and time again, we're fed this issue. But is it truly anything new? Well, when you look a little bit deeper, you find, of course, that without realising it, the nanny state, as they like to call it, has been dictating to us for many years. In fact, far too many years, some people might suggest. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me. The very heart of the St Pancras Hotel. Very nice, very posh, let me tell you, chums. Yes. Not getting my flask out in there, I think I'll get chucked out, you know what I mean? I mentioned this before, but that's the video where, of course, that's the hotel, should I say, when it wasn't open as this, where the Spice Girls Wannabe video was filmed. So yeah, kind of an iconic place if you want to go in there and you're a pop aficionado, the sort of thing. I mean, yeah, it's always good to look at these things though, isn't it? Now, if you're like me, who remembers this beautiful lady? That's right, Debbie Harry from Blondie. What a performer, what a collection of hits. I mean, from way back in the 70s to picture this, Denis, Call Me, Maria, and of course, I Want That Man. There were just so many classic hits, but she had a great look, didn't she, Debbie Harry? I always thought that it would have been interesting to have a duet between Madonna and Debbie Harry. Both trailblazing women, whether you like them both individually or together, there's something about them, what they did, I think, for those individual areas. Now, what's interesting is that, I've met Debbie many times. Lovely lady, a lot of fun, bit naughty. Do you know what I'm saying, chums? Bit naughty. But she had colossal success as part of Blondie. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier on, because I didn't realise this until I was looking back at an interview that I did with her. You see, way back in the early 80s, she teamed up with the super producers of Chic, Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, and they created this album, Cuckoo. Remember the big hit Backfired? Well, the year before, they teamed up with another royal connection, that is Diana Ross, and produced her best-selling album ever, Diana, which is part of the King's Music playlist for Apple, Upside Down, right? So they thought they were going to replicate this success with Debbie Harry, the first time she'd done a solo album. Now, what was interesting was, and I didn't realise this, that Debbie herself, wanted to change things around. She had a reasonable sized hit with the first single, Backfired, but the rest of it didn't do well. But according to her, one of the major problems in the European territories was this. That's right, Transport for London. You see, they banned the poster for that album. Now, can you see it? Now, when you look at it, of course, is these sort of spikes sticking in Debbie's face. Very radical. And I remember being at school at that point and thinking, ooh, that looks painful. Nobody really knew what it was meant to be about. She thought it would shock people into realising that she now was darker and not Blondie, and this was a solo album, etc. And they banned it from the London Underground, finding it apparently too offensive. The TV apparently went along with it, the promo for television. They carried on. And as Debbie pointed out to me, she felt that being banned from the London Underground when far more people were travelling under there had a detrimental effect to the sales of her debut launched album. What do you think? And should people be allowed to ban things at all when you consider we've got things like this now currently on the London Underground? Which is more offensive, the beautiful Debbie Harry with a solo album or this man? Either way, I think I know which one I prefer. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.